In the heart of the Slovenian Karst landscape of Kras, below the village of Skocjan, is one of the most important cave systems in the world, the Škocjan Caves. A world of caves into which the Reka River has dug deep into the limestone. An artificial tunnel, the Paradise, leads from the entrance to the silent caves, whose walls are covered with calcareous sinter. Here, nature has created a mysterious underground world, a labyrinth of caves, corridors, and halls, decorated with stalactites of various shapes and sizes. In an entire human lifetime, these sculptures grow only a few millimeters, a comforting timelessness of primeval silence and beauty. Next, the Great Hall, in which there are huge, up to 15-meter-high stalagmites known as giants. The river is noticeable in the next cave. Below us, a roaring, raging wonder, the exact opposite of the motionless, silent stalactites. In 1815, exploration of the cave system began, and now 6 kilometers of paths, steps and bridges have been painstakingly created. The Sjekvenik Bridge crosses an underground canyon 45 meters above the Reka, at the exact point where the river meets the Hanka Channel. Again and again, there are old stone steps and climbing routes which the first explorers of the caves created under the most hazardous conditions. Today, wide metal ramps and stairways lead safely alongside the cave walls. Over thousands of years, unique formations were created by erosion. High up in the mystical, illuminated cave, a group of calcareous sinter basins clings to a steep wall. The road leads ever upward, deep below the Reka, and stalactite formations everywhere in forms that only nature can create. Overwhelmed by the caves, suddenly there are bats, and we arrive at a large window. From here there's a view of the Big Valley, a 165-meter deep collapsed dolina. Such collapsed dolinas are formed by gradually undermining large underground caves whose ceilings become porous over time and eventually collapse. In daylight, it's clear to see how the Karst River created a canyon. In the dolinas also developed an extraordinary symbiosis of botanical species of alpine flora and Mediterranean scrub. The caves were known in the Stone Age and served the inhabitants of the surrounding villages as a safe refuge if danger threatened. Water flows from everywhere. Following heavy rainfall, the water masses plunge through the cave system, fill the dolina, and subsequently flow out. Onto the Little Valley, a 120-meter deep collapsed dolina which is connected by a natural bridge to another dolina. Here too there are indications that the external sections of the cave system were inhabited during the Neolithic period. The river created the caves. Emerging from the underworld, it crosses two collapsed dolinas and disappears underground once more. This natural wonder is accompanied by endemic flora. The pathway travels the entire length of our tour and appears in the dry season as a small rill. Water created this miracle of nature, carved itself spectacularly into the limestone with the unbridled force of nature. A natural artist that created these mysterious caves, wild canyons, giant stalagmites, terraces with sinter basins and collapsed funnels. The underground cave world of Skocjan is a unique testimony of the Earth's history, and in 1986 was designated as a World Heritage Site.